Welcome back. Unprivileged women in Zabaline district, Egypt, are turning waste into colorful products ranging from carpets, tablecloths to handbags. They are trained in paper crafts, weaving and patchwork under income-generating schemes orchestrated by the Association for the Protection of the Environment, the APE.
Women are trained in paper crafts, weaving and patchwork, all as income-generating schemes in a project founded in the late 1980s. The project focuses on recycling and waste management in the Zabaline settlement in Cairo's Manshid Nasir district and in famous shantytown on the outskirts of the city.
We use factory waste and recycle it. We use pieces of fabric from T-shirts and use it to make carpets, tablecloths, bathroom rugs, dinner sets, throw rugs and multicolored items. We make all this here in the workshop.
Items discarded by factories are sent to the slum for collection, where they are turned into rugs, handbags and belts. The women receive deliveries and sort through mounds of what they call clean trash to pick out their materials.
The products are very simple but made in a very professional way. I could never have imagined it was made from very simple items. You can tell that a lot of effort has been put to make the product the way it is now, and I appreciate the people who work here who can make products of this quality.
It was founded by Association for the Protection of the Environment, APE, an NGO that works in waste reduction and education. APE helps improve the lives of garbage collectors in Zabaline district, one of the largest settlements of garbage collection in the city, by providing a space to learn new crafts while at the same time teaching garbage collectors how to read and write.
We started thinking of projects that can generate income and from there move to education. In the late 80s and early 90s, we brought in some looms in this building here and we started teaching the women how to make carpets from the shreds of fabric thrown away by factories.
The women picked up the skills and started making rugs and other products, and after some time, the organization started arranging classes for them. Over the last 2 decades, APE has helped hundreds of women and currently employs around 200 of them.
Let's talk some entertainment now. Film fans, actors and comics enthusiasts in Nigeria's commercial capital, Lagos, have been flocking to screenings of Marvel superhero movie Black Panther. Most people were dressed in the traditional Nigerian robes and gowns, with some opting to wear specially made attires in keeping with the film's futuristic take on African garments.
For once, we're not just dressed in slave clothes, undergoing slavery or brutality or what have you. But for once, we're dressed in good clothes, for once, and we're telling our stories, and we're focusing on different tribes that make up Africa. That's just great to be happening at this point in time.
People that made the film, the filmmakers, were very specific about the references they used in relationship to Africa. So they're pulling from the best fashion, the best art. And I can see the references in the work, and I really respect that. And then there's the African-American empowerment story in there as well, so it's amazing.
So they try to portray black actors in a good light. We've got the Nollywood actors who are doing fabulously well, and of course reaching out to Africans in diaspora and all the rest of it. So clearly this is another tribute to black actors.
Channels TV entertainment correspondent Bidemi Dairo is here with us to talk more about Black Panther. Bidemi, there's been so much hype about this movie since it was released. Why is it such a big movie?
Yes, you're right about the hype. The buzz is everywhere, and not just on the African continent, across the world generally. First off, it's such a big movie because the the story was well put together in terms of storytelling, acting, and stuff. But beyond all of that, it flips the Hollywood narrative, flips the Hollywood narrative about Africa and blacks in general. It portrays Africa as a technologically advanced, a part of Africa as a technologically advanced community. And usually when you go to Hollywood and you see stories about Africa, it's about how it's backward and all of these things. And of course, it gave a lot of African Americans and a lot of African actors platform to be in the big league and all of this. The Black Panther franchise in itself is big because it's part of the DC comic universe, and it's sharing the same platform like the highly successful Iron Man, Captain America, Incredible Hulk, Thor, and stuff. So it's really a big deal for African Americans and blacks generally.
And what about the cast? I haven't seen the movie, so but tell me about the cast and what else. What is it that makes this movie stand out apart from some of the other ones that you just mentioned that have been released in the past?
Yeah, in terms of cast, it stars Chadwick Boseman, who's not yet a very big name in Hollywood, and it puts him on that pedestal as the like of Robert Downey Jr., who's the actor for Iron Man, and Hemsworth for Thor. You understand? So it's a big opportunity for people in that role. And of course, we had our own Nigerian Shokwe Aluko, who's been doing bits and pieces of things here in Hollywood. Who's getting she got a proper exposure on that movie as well, yeah.
Now let's bring things closer to us. I'm glad there's a Nigerian in Black Panther, but looking at Nollywood, why aren't we seeing movies this big?
I laugh because it's not because it's a funny question, but because in the real sense, even if we're not talking about the budget, because this is a very big budget movie. Even if somehow, somewhere we're able to get the budget for this movie, there are a lot of things around filming that we don't have yet to help fortify and put this movie together. First off, this kind of movies, you need to shoot in a highly controlled environment. We don't have film villages. We don't have structures to help filmmakers achieve all of this. So, and even if somehow, some way, against all odds, you are able to put this movie together as a business, you don't have the structures to help you succeed as a business, to help you distribute this movie and make sure you recoup your money back. So there are a lot of other things. Yes, Nollywood is not where it started from. It has moved forward, but we are still miles away from Hollywood, in a manner of speaking.
You talked about not having the structures to be able to do this kind of movie, for instance. So what are these structures? All right,
so for instance, yeah, if, say, Hollywood wants to destroy, a Hollywood filmmaker wants to destroy, say, Wall Street now in New York, they have it recreated elsewhere. They have these studios elsewhere where these things are recreated, and they can shoot and film and bring down some of these buildings in controlled environment and stuff. If you're saying, if you have a movie and you want to, say, for instance, bring down or do major stunts on the Third Mainland Bridge, you have to use the original Third Mainland Bridge here in this country. It's not recreated elsewhere, and the investment you require to have all of this recreated elsewhere is so much. If you eventually raise that money and you spend that money, you don't even have enough screens to show this movie out and make sure you get your money back. So it's like a futile investment for some filmmakers to do things that are generally different from, let's say, for instance, the romantic comedy that everybody appears to be doing in the country at the moment.
Now, let's talk once again about the movie The Black Panther. I mean, the director, Ryan Coogler, who released a letter appreciating everyone for all the hype and all the vibe. Does that mean that they've made so much money from the release of this movie in such a short time?
Yeah, beyond the money in itself. This has originally, and this has catapulted the career path for the director, Ryan Coogler. As it stands now, this is, it has broken a series of records, but this is the biggest movie by an African in terms of box office and reception, critical review and stuff. So it's only natural for him to get heavily emotional. He's now sitting in the leagues of the likes of Steven Spielberg and co. So you could sense where that is coming from.
And that's a really huge achievement. So thanks, Bidemi. Well, that's it on the program today. Thank you so much for watching. I am Bisi Adebayo.